right, so Ethan Brown, my friend, longtime friend, you're my guest this week on Movies and Minutes. Just a reminder for what we do here every week. We kind of just take a different approach to reviewing movies by having some kind of like audience participation. It's like 50-50 here. I go see the films, and the people that aren't crazy enough to go see like three new movies as they come out every week, you watch the trailers and you get a sense for, what you think the movie's about. You use your big old brain, which I know you have, to kind of draw some conclusions, and then we kind of discuss it with the knowledge I'm going to share with you about the film after after I kind of draw some info out of you. What do you think?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. Let's go for
All
it.
right. So what three movies did I give you this week that either have just come out, or actually in the case of one of these movies, I'm going to let you know, it hasn't actually come out yet, but I somehow still saw it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you gave me Champions,
Mm-hmm.
the Children of the Corn, and then Operation Fortune.
Yes. All right. So let's start with Champions. What did you think of the movie just from the trailer that you saw?
Well, from the trailer, it kind of reminded me of The Ringer.
Yeah, very much. That's the vibes I feel like I got before, like when I saw the trailer for it too. What else? What do you like?
Redemption story. It's less comedy than it is redemption. See, it feels more drama based.
Okay.
With some comedy in there.
Okay. Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, Woody Harrelson's got some funny bones.
Yeah.
What do you think where do you think the story goes?
Based on what I watched, it seems like he was. Well, I mean, based on the trailer, you see that he's pushed out of being a coach for a big time team, and he has to redeem himself to get back into that by coaching this other team and making them an actual team, making them work, actually teammates working together. That's what I've gotten from it. And I'm going to guess, based on what I'm seeing here, that he actually chooses not to go back and stays coaching them instead, or coaching that sort of league.
Okay. And what sort of league is it?
Oh, special needs league.
Special needs. Yeah. So, and all right. And okay. All right. And would you see it?
Possibly.
Yeah.
It'd be one of those that I'd probably, if I were to go, it'd be something a friend would have to like say, hey, you want to go see this with me? It wouldn't be something I'd be rushing out to see myself, or just by myself or something,
Okay. All right. That's fair. So let me give you the half of the story that you don't have from not having seen it yet. First things first, Champions. So Champions hasn't come out yet. And I mean, I by no means like pirate films to see them really, but Regal Cinema, which we don't have right in our area directly, but we have them in Syracuse, does this thing once a month called Mystery Movie Monday, which I think is really cool. For $5, they let you see a movie that hasn't come out yet, but they won't tell you what it is until you're sitting down in the theater. Like right before it starts, there'll be like a little intro by like one of the actors in the film, and they're like, hey, thanks for coming to see, and then they tell you, I'm starring in, or I'm part of the cast for this movie. So it was Champions this past Mystery Movie Monday, and I guess that doesn't come out until like the Friday coming up. So it was like 2 weeks early. So Champions, like you said, is Woody Harrelson coaching a special needs, like almost like a Special Olympics type basketball league in where is it? It's like Des Moines. I want to say it's like Des Moines, Iowa. I think it's based, and he's on a minor league basketball team, like one step down from the NBA. So he like
a college league.
Kind of. It's almost like I feel like the equivalent for us would be like Utica Blue Jays, or like Little Falls has a baseball team, right? Like that is like a scouting team for majors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those. So they're not like, it's not college, but it's like it's still adults playing a sport, but they're not at the majors.
Okay.
Yeah, and so he's playing for one of those, and he gets in trouble. He like he's got a temper, and he pushes his boss, who's played by like Ernie Hudson from the Ghostbusters, which is really cool. I love that guy. He pushes him around, and then he also slams in the back of a cop car while drunk.
Oh,
So they're like, okay, well, you can either spend 18 months in jail, or oh, hey, look, your resume says you're a professional basketball coach. You can coach this team for 90 days. And he, I mean, like any of us would, I'm sure, takes the
public service.
uh, yeah, takes the public service over jail. And the whole sequence is actually really funny. Like if you do get a chance to watch it, like the court part is actually pretty funny. His lawyer is like really not good at his job. It's great. And it is a lot of what you think it is. It's I almost felt like it was a higher elevated Ringer. Like Ringer's funny, but Ringer was definitely like kind of lowbrow because it
Mhm.
was Johnny Knoxville from Jackass.
Yeah.
And this one's a little bit more serious. And it feels like you feel a little bit more heart out of the characters, I guess. I want to say like there's funny, but it's also like you care more.
Yeah, it's more heartfelt.
Yeah. And actually, there's a competition. There's like things they got to do. It is a typical sports movie in that sense, but they do turn left at the end. He does not stay with them. He does. There's another like guy he gets to be his assistant coach over the course of the movie, and like that guy's a little bit greener. He's kind of a younger guy, and by the end of the movie, like he does take another minor league basketball position somewhere else close by, and like the assistant guy like stays with them, and it almost they kind of need each other more. Like the assistant guy like is kind of at the start of his career, and Woody's like middle to the end of his. So, and there's some cool guests in it, like Cheech Marin. Do you ever watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No, but I know the actors in it.
Okay, so the one female actress that's in that, she's like the love interest in the movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was her? I didn't even heard of it.
yeah, yeah. I know. Well, yeah, because I mean, like you always see her like doing silly stuff on Always Sunny, so it's like her trying to break out into some
Serious.
more serious stuff. Yeah,
Good for her. That's awesome.
yeah. So, all right. So I mean, knowing that information, but like more or less or about the same as likely as wait to go see it, or would you go see it sooner, or and now you don't want to see it as much?
I mean, about the same.
About the same, yeah. I think rating wise, I gave it a 4 out of 5, just because like it was like I said, it was a little better than Ringer, and it did some stuff differently than you expect it to. So that's always nice. I like being surprised. Um, Next on our list, Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
What did that trailer do for you? How did you feel seeing that?
I'm not a huge horror fan
Mm-hmm.
or a fan at all. Um,
That's fair. Yeah.
but it kind of made me think of what's the name of the book? Lord of the Flies.
Okay. Yeah. I could see that. I didn't think about that the first time. That's a good observation. Why did it make you think that?
Because it's just kids taking over, kids ruling, whatever.
Mhm.
They're setting their own rules.
Mhm.
However, this is more like in the book there was no adults. That here there are adults. They're
Right.
taking over and
Mhm.
taking care of, as they said in the trailer, of the
Mhm.
adults.
What do you think the goal or the reason that they're doing that is?
Based on the trailer, I want to say that they were probably abused, maybe, and they're taking back and killing off the adults that are abusing them, maybe.
Okay. Okay. Um.
Or maybe the place is just infested with some kind of airborne drug that is battling their minds. I don't know, really. It is
Yeah.
Children of the Corn, so who knows what they're getting up to in the corn.
That's okay. I'll be honest too. Some of these trailers, like when I send them off, like I mean, I've seen them. You know, a lot of times they're the motivation for me to see some of the movies I see. Um, the trailer for this movie at the time that I saw it, I think looked better than the actual movie when I got around to seeing the movie this week.
Oh,
I am a horror fan, so that maybe is part, that maybe biases me a little bit. This also, if you weren't aware, is a Stephen King book. So the
oh,
original film was based on a Stephen King book. Um, the reboot from the directors of the reboot stated pretty vehemently that it has almost no connection to the Stephen King book or the original films. Like it's a drastic departure.
oh.
Yeah. So my only thought is that they're trying to ride the coattails of the name, because it's a lot easier to sell something when it's associated with something else.
So wait, have
You
you seen
know,
the original?
I have,
And are
and
they fall
I re-
apart?
oh, it's super different. In fact, I would say, and I mean, like I only know this having seen it. You know, you really don't know until you watch it, but it's probably the only things that it shares with the Stephen King book is that there's a cornfield and there's children. Everything else is pretty different.
Okay.
Um, so in this version, the cornfield is like alive. It's like an entity of some kind. Maybe it's a demon, spirit. We're never quite sure what. But the children like playing in the cornfield, and oh man, this movie kind of went all over the place, and not in a good way. The film starts with like a boy and a girl sitting looking at the cornfield, and then this boy like picks up like an axe, and then walks into like an orphanage and starts killing adults. And we're never really quite sure why. The maybe the implication is supposed to be the cornfield made him do it, but it's never we never really get, like, that's the setup, and there's no payoff for it. The little girl wanders into the cornfield after he goes into the house, and she isn't found for like 4 days. And I think she's the little girl in the trailer that you see who's like kind of rallying all the kids.
Yeah,
She's
the
like
one that's
a
bossing everybody.
Yeah, she's wearing like a really like fake looking red wig
Oh
at
yeah.
several points in the movie. Um, but as near as I could tell, her rationale was nobody came to save her or take care of her while she was in the cornfield for 4 days. The cornfield took care of her, so she wants to rally all the children and take care of all the adults who didn't take care of her.
That's
And yeah, there's another girl who's sort of the protagonist who's like about to leave to go away to college, and then all this starts to go down, and she's sort of like teenage, so she's close enough to the kids where some of them will talk to and listen to her, and close enough to the adults that they try to appeal to her. She's kind of like the middle of the road.
yeah.
And she fights the kids, and she fights the girl in charge, and she even fights the cornfield at one point when it becomes like a giant green monster. Um, but yeah, the movie was just so all over the place. Like you really don't understand anybody's motivations, and at one point, they light the cornfield on fire because nobody thought to do that earlier in the movie to stop what the presence was, or maybe they weren't quite sure they believed what was going on until they saw the monster. It's kind of hard to
I
tell.
mean, yeah, that would make more logical sense because why would you think a cornfield is turning kids into these monsters?
Right, right. It's a lot of just like it was really kind of it was really sort of a shame because like I hate to see properties that like are associated with something else that like now I'm gonna remember this bad thing related to like a good horror movie slash good book. Um, the acting wasn't great. There's just like a lot of like weird random stuff that was like shoehorned in. Like you watch some movies and they give you like build up for things, right? Like the little girl who's spearheading it all at one point, like she has her adopted dad locked up in the jail, and he's like I've never been mean to the cornfield, and then like she looks at him and she's like, but you did things to me, and it was like, oh, okay, as if we should have known the whole time that this guy was bad. but you find out in like one 30-second exchange. Personally, and I think maybe just based on what you said already, this probably is one that I don't think you would see, and I can't recommend to you or anybody for that matter.
Would you say this is more like a D-list movie?
Man, so this movie came out. When did it come out? It came out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In 15 days, it will be on Shudder, which is like a horror streaming app. Like you mentioned that you saw the Shudder thing on it.
That's
so. Yeah, Shudder. Yeah, Shudder is like a horror streaming app. I don't even think that. So Shudder costs like about $5 a month, which is a pretty great price if you like horror movies. Hashtag Shudder. You should probably give me some sponsorship. I'm giving you free play here, but I wouldn't even pay the $5 that it costs to get the Shudder membership to watch this when it's 15 days. I can't even say that with a straight face. I gave this movie a 2 out of 5, and I think that 2 is generous.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, why'd you just do a 2 instead of a 1.5 or a 1?
The best part of this movie was this little girl who was the bad guy. For all the movie's faults, she played a really good bad guy. Like she acted it well. She comes off menacing. Like, I can't fault her for being plopped into a bad script. So yeah, I mean, like, she's compelling, but everything else around it is dog doo doo.
So at least she was deserving of the lead role, then. That's good.
I mean, well, again, like, she wasn't bad, so I don't know. Maybe she, maybe someone will watch this and take the same opinion as me, and then they'll cast her in something else. Like, they're like, hey, this movie was bad, but she was good. So,
right. Based on what you said too, though, I'm almost wondering if they're gonna do like either offshoots or sequels to the movie, or even prequels, based on what they've shown in the movie.
Well, the only thing about that is something like this that's going straight to streaming. I mean, and didn't really have any major theater backing. Makes me think it was like a crowdsourced movie. Like, they had to raise the money. So I haven't read any other reviews. I try to avoid them, right away. But like, if I were to read other reviews, I'm sure they weren't favorable, and that probably would stymie people to give the creators more money. Right. But you never know. You never know. So that I kind of think I give these links out in a certain order on purpose, especially when I know who my guest is going to be. So it was like I gave you one that I figured you'd like. I gave you one that you didn't, and then this last one kind of, I feel like could go either way, because I don't know, you might really like it, or maybe it's not your cup of tea. But Operation Fortune.
So after watching that trailer, I actually really like that.
Really like that. All right. What did you think it was about, or what is it about based on what you saw?
Well, there was one quote in the movie that made me think of another series of movies, and that's, you have a certain set of skills.
What series is that?
Quote, actually.
What series is that?
Taken.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's an offshoot of that in any which way. I honestly, all I know is that they're on a mission to do something. I don't know if they're trying to redeem themselves. I don't know if they're trying to get back at somebody, or I'm guessing it's probably getting back at somebody or taking down somebody that's evil.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's just a comedy action comedy movie, maybe. I know it's action based, partially comedy. Mm-hmm. I was actually surprised to see what's his name, Carrie Ellis. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I was actually surprised to see him in that. It's actually one of my favorite actors.
I also very much enjoy Carrie. He partly sold this movie for me. Actually, the whole cast was real stellar. Would you go see it? I mean, based on what you saw. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, so Operation Fortune is what I think is best described is a homage. I don't want to call it a parody, but it's like an homage to spy films. Because it's got like James Bond vibes. It's got like a little bit of like John Wick vibes.
Which I've never
But
seen.
yeah, what's that?
I've never seen John Wick.
Neither have I. Which I'm gonna have to marathon those real soon because John Wick 4 comes out this month, and I have seen the trailer for that. It looks pretty cool, so gonna have to get ready for that. But so the cast for this movie. So we got Jason Statham,
Yep.
right? Big time action guy. Aubrey Plaza,
Yep.
Parks and Rec, the Chucky remake. She's like a babe. Just gotta say it.
And she's all over the place with her movies and shows that she's in.
It's great.
She's like an all around actress, absolutely.
Cary Elwes, who's his filmography is like a mile long and maybe a couple miles long, but he's like the handler. Jason Statham is like the main spy, and
Aubrey is like the help spy or the secondary.
Kinda. So I mean, she does some field stuff in this, definitely. She's also like the tech girl. Like she like does the hacking and the stuff like that. Okay. So and then one name which popped up in the cast. I truthfully I don't know what I recognize him from. Other people probably know him. Josh Hartnett. So he plays like a famous actor in the movie. Like his role in the movie is to be a famous actor, and it's like to infiltrate the person they need to infiltrate. They get this famous actor who's not a spy to work with them because they're like, the guy they're trying to get to is like gushing. He's like, oh my god, you're so and so, like, and like he wants to basically be best friends with the actor, and the spies are using him to get in there, get in the compound, get information, all that. But it's your basic spy movie. There's a thing, and it gets stolen, and it's gonna get sold, and it's gonna cause like the end of the world type situation, or like the end of our world as we know it. There's a lot of like economic reasons for it. Like it's gonna do a thing like that basically makes money useless unless you have gold.
He's actually been in a few more action-packed movies. He's been in Pearl Harbor. He was in.
That's a long. Yeah, I mean those are all great movies. But they're like so long ago. They're not like fresh in my mind at all.
Those are 2000s, like early 2000 movies. So
right.
It's been a while since I've seen him in an action movie or specific.
And he looks fairly young still, so I wonder like if he was super young in those.
He was He may have been. I think he's older than he looks by a long shot.
That's possible. I mean, like in this, he looks like he's in his like high 30s, maybe low 40s.
Okay, so that seems appropriate then, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was in his he would have been like in his high teens, low 20s, back in the early 2000s. But so yeah, I mean, like the cast is stellar. The director for this movie is also kind of notable. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but this guy's done a lot of great directing. His name's Guy Ritchie.
Yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah, so Guy Ritchie has done. I mean, in recent memory, he had another Jason Statham movie called Wrath of Man. That was really good.
Okay.
Trying to think what else he's done a lot of things. He's kind of like he's almost like Quentin Tarantino. He's just like a well-known director who kind of just does things his own way, and it's his humor and the way he like makes everything kind of fall together like film wise. It just all works. And this movie's no exception. I think as a big lover of things like James Bond, I think this is a great movie. Like it parallels like spy movies in a great way, but also has humor. The fight scenes are great. I don't think it was too long. It's like 2 hours ish. And yeah, I mean, like, it's like a start, middle, end, and then like it sets you up for more in the sense that like at the end of the movie when you think that they're all going to be able to take a break, it's like Cary Elwes is like, all right, well, guess what? Next mission. And then they're like sort of arguing about how much time they can have off between. He's like, I'll see you back here in 36 hours. Nope, 2 weeks. No, 72 hours. A week. And it's like they're like arguing for time, him and Statham. So
yeah,
it's pretty great. Knowing all that, would it make you see it more? I mean, you already seem like you liked it, so I mean, is this
Yeah,
something that you think you'd go see in the theater? I mean, it's got like action and stuff, so it's not like a bad on-screen watch.
yeah, and I mean, before I was definitely interested in just seeing the trailer of it. I was interested in going to see it. I'm still
Hmm.
interested in just going to see it
Yeah,
randomly, maybe after work someday. Who knows?
yeah.
Definitely down for it.
I have to check because I always kind of like keep an eye on our local theaters even after I've seen a movie. So I saw this one out in Syracuse with Children of the Corn on Thursday because our theater didn't have them yet. I still don't think our theater has either of those. Not that we still want to stay away from Children of the Corn, but weirdly, like with all the big names in this, I feel like this should be a full release, and I don't know if like it is. So yeah, that always like that stuff always like makes me scratch my head, like what, like how and why theaters determine what they're gonna get. Like we have a 14 theater thing. Like we only need like Avatar and Ant-Man on a few theaters. We don't need them on everything.
Yeah, Ant-Man took up what, like 6 or 7 theaters the first
Day
2 weeks.
day one or week one, that's fine. But like Avatar, has been out since what, Christmas? Like that could go away. Like we're
Yes,
good.
it's definitely not
Um,
needed.
Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots is still in our theater. Boots also came out at Christmas. It's like let's move on. um, so little overtime, just a little tiny bit. So this one I didn't give you a trailer for, but this one I did go see a fourth film today, which actually I was thinking about saving for next week, but like it won't be a new movie next week. So um, are you familiar at all with any of the Creed movies?
Um, I I won't say I'm too familiar with them.
Okay.
Every time I
So
see Creed, I actually just think of Assassin's Creed, and then I have to think about it and realize it's not. It's a
right.
boxing movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's a pseudo sequel to Rocky because it's
Oh,
the
okay.
son of Rocky's rival, and then Sylvester Stallone's in the first two.
Oh, okay.
So Creed 3 also came out this week, and truthfully, at the beginning of the week, I hadn't seen Creed 1 or Creed 2, and by the end of the week, I had seen them. So I was like, okay, well, I can go see Creed 3. Um,
Well, now
so
that you've done that, though, I have to ask.
huh?
Using the first two, he's not in the
Hmm.
third one. Do you need to see? Do you feel like you need to see the first two to understand the third one?
Um, to understand, no. To enjoy, probably yes,
Okay.
because I don't feel like you won't have the investment in the characters that you would had you seen them in the like earlier movies. Like, he's married to a woman. He's actually married to to the girl who played Valkyrie, like in
Oh,
Thor's.
okay.
Yeah, and so I mean, like there was that relationship was not like it wasn't like easy in the first movie. There was like work, but now we're in movie 3 and it's just like, oh, they're together, but you wouldn't get the same like emotional impact, understanding that like they've been through stuff. Same with like his mom, same with like some of the gym people. um but then they got the guy who's his kind of rival in this movie was Kang, like the actor who plays Kang,
Okay.
Jonathan Majors. This guy is all over the place right now, and he's kind of on fire, like in a good way. um I don't want to throw shade on anybody's name, but he feels like Denzel 20 years ago, like when Denzel was just like everywhere.
Oh, yeah, doing so many different things. Yeah,
Yeah, like Jonathan Majors, I think has been in like 4 or 5 movies in the last 12 months. I mean, that's a lot of filming. Like if you're an actor.
yeah, that's
Uh,
like no breaks whatsoever.
yeah, no. And it's weird because even though this is the Creed story, Creed Creed is almost like the bad guy in this movie because Jonathan Majors is the underdog. He's like just let out of prison. He went to prison to protect Creed when they were kids, and like Creed kind of left him behind. And like he wants a shot at the title, just like in like Rocky 1. Rocky was a nobody, and he wanted a shot at Creed's title. So it's like a weird kind of like full circle. Um, I thought it was a really great movie. I gave this one 4.5, but I also kind of asterisk that with like you have to watch the other two and enjoy those to enjoy this one on that level. Don't think somebody not having seen the others would. walk in and give it the same rating. So, but if you like watching Killmonger go 12 rounds with Kang, it's cool.
Oh, okay. That's the actor's Killmonger. Okay.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan is Creed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and in fact, when they're walking to the ring, I almost think this was on purpose. There's a rap song playing like as they're like walking music for one of them, and it mentions Wakanda.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's pretty great.
Nice.
So, yeah. So, if you happen to go see any of these movies, you let me know. Let me know if there's good, bad, or about what you expected they were going to be. Little shameless plug time. I mention this to people every week, and I'm about 3 gift certificates deep now. But as I post these to YouTube, I ask people, hey, the week before the next, or before the next one comes out, like it, comment on it, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'm gonna give away free gift certificates. Nobody has followed all 3 of these simple directions yet. They'll do one and not the others. If you do all 3, I throw your name in a drawing for a $25 movie gift certificate of your choosing. So,
oh wow, okay,
yeah. I mean, if you live local, I'll do Marquee. If you're following this and you're from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and you've got like I don't know Ann Arbor local cinema, I'll give them a call and buy a gift certificate for you. Like, we'll make this happen. So
at Regal's all over the U.S.
Regal, AMC, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a. I'm not limiting these by any means. I want people to go to the movies and see stuff. So.
Yeah, so that's like, share, and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Nice.
Share, I have no way of tracking. I mean, if you share it,
Okay.
that's even better. But I can see the other 3, so it gives me a good barometer for like, hey, this person did this, and this. Check. So, Ethan, I thank you for being my guest this week, my friend. If you'd like to be on again, I'll throw you on the rotation. Got a bunch of people I want to talk to, but I'm always trying to get tons of different opinions, so that way we're always looking at these things from different points of view.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, keep me in the rotation. That's fine. Absolutely. If you got a week to fill in where you don't have somebody available,
yeah. I appreciate that, man. Well, thank you very much, and you have a good night.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You have a good night too.
Bye.